What's up, everybody? This is the D to the L to the N, the deal in sports, and this is Cash Line. Just wanted to hop on here with y'all real quick, man, and chop this 6 game slate we got going on for the night. Shout out to the YouTube world, the Twitter world, and the Cash Line world. Just want to jump on here and see if I can help anybody or help y'all get to this money. First game on the slate is Charlotte at Indiana. It's projected for 211 points. Indy's favored by 3. On the Indy side of the ball, you know who we got. We got Collison, Oladipo, Bogo, Young, and Miles Turner. But they just announced Sabonis will be starting again, so Turner going to be coming off of that bench. You got Kemba Walker, Batum, Gilchrist, Williams, Howard. Howard's been on a tear. Howard's been on a tear lately. And he out of this game, he's going to be one of the people to have my circle and my check mark. He's at 9,100. He been killing people lately, man. He been dropping 50 bombs like it ain't nothing, and this ain't usual for Howard as far as on a consistent basis. But Howard been going crazy, him and Walker. Ever since they brung up that Kemba Walker trade scenario, him and Howard and Walker have both been going off. Now you got Oladipo on that other side, a little bit over 9K. He can go off at any moment. But what I've been noticing is it's been hard for them guards, man, when they at 9, 10K to hit that value. You know what I mean? Steph Curry went off the other night and went crazy. But a lot of times these guards ain't paying off, man, when it's over that 9K. When you can find one at 6, 7, 8K that gets you about the same price that one for 9 or 9,500 or even 10K gets you. You know what I mean? Now, coming off the bench, you got that Turner going to be coming off the bench, Sabonis starting. You got Lance Stevenson coming off that bench. And then you got Curtis Josephs down there at 3,800. And them little players like that, man, could be the difference on your slate. Just like the other day when Fred VanVleet for Toronto went bananas. You know what I mean? Nobody was expecting that. Lowry and DeRozan was still in, but he still went crazy. And those are the type of plays that help you take a tournament down. So we're going to move on to that second game, which is Minnesota at Atlanta. Projected for 214 points. Minnesota's favored by 6. On the Minnesota side of the ball, you got Teague, Butler, Wiggins, Gibson, and Towns. On the Atlanta side of the ball, you got Schroeder, Bazemore, Prince, Ilyasova, Plumlee. You got Dedmon and people like that coming off the bench. Now you got Butler over there at 9,400. That's one of them calls you got to make. The Oladipo call, the Butler call, Butler 9,400. If he don't get a lot of defensive peripherals, he's not going to hit that price. You know what I mean? Unless he puts up like 30, 35 real points. And what's the odds of that? Now, he's totally capable of it, especially against this Atlanta defense. He's totally capable of it. But we kind of got to check back and see. And that's like one of your calls. You got to feel that. You got Wiggins at 6,500. You got Towns at 9,600. Now, if I'm going to pay up, it's probably going to be for a center. And this is one of them center slates, y'all. This one of them center slates. This ain't one of them guard slates. This is, you got Howard in a smash spot. You got Towns in a smash spot. You got Embiid was in a smash spot, but Embiid is out now. You got then you got to try to figure that Phoenix stuff out that's coming up here. But you got Whiteside in a smash spot. So this is one of them center slates. You got Jokic in a decent spot. That's against Boston, but it's not as smash as Howard and Towns, things like that. But I think this is a center slate, and then you got to find the right value around it. Now you got, like I said, you got Butler at 9,400. You got Towns at 9,600. That's going to be one heck of a play right there. That's going to be one heck of a play right there. You got to kind of decide what you want to do with that. Sorry about that. But you got to kind of decide what you want to do with that Towns play at 9,600. Because he's in a smash spot. We all know Atlanta gives it up to the centers and things like that. So we kind of got to make a decision on what we want to do with that. On the guard side, you got Teague and Schroeder. Now, you got to remember, this is Teague going back to Atlanta. Schroeder pretty much took his job. Teague went to Minnesota with the trade scenario and all those type things. So is Teague going to come back and go off in Atlanta? Or is Schroeder going to go off? Schroeder been struggling. I played him a couple times. He's been struggling. Or is Schroeder going to go off? You know what I mean? To try to say, hey, you guys made the right decision, keeping me and letting Teague go. So those decisions you got to make on that game. And like I say, Minnesota's favored by 6, and it's projected for 214 points. Now, the next game we're going to go to, this is where all the value is if the news comes out in time, because everybody's hurt on both teams just about. You got Phoenix at Memphis. Memphis is favored by 8. It's a 205.5 point total. On the Phoenix side of the ball, you got Booker, Daniels, Warren, Chris, Chandler. But you got to remember, Chris is a game time decision. Daniels is a game time decision. Booker is a game time decision. All questionable. You got Tyson Chandler, who don't usually play back to backs. You got Alex Lynn, who's a game time decision. You got Monroe, who could start or come off the bench if Chandler plays. So that's one of them things you kind of got to wait for the news to come out. But I will tell you one of my plays on this Phoenix side, because somebody gonna be out over there, if not one, two, or three. I like that Isaiah Cannon over there at 3,800. I think he's in a prime spot. If one of them guards is out, I think he's gonna beat that value easily. On the Memphis side of the ball, you got Evans, who's a game time decision. Then you got Selden, Brooks, Martin, and Gasol. Gasol should be in a good play. I think he's a little under 8K. He should be a good play today going up against that Phoenix front court. But like I said, we don't know who's going to be in there. We don't know who's going to be in there. Jermichael Green is out. McLemore is a game time decision. You got Deontay Davis, who's a game time decision. So that's one of them games that you got to be real careful about, man, and wait to see what that news is coming out. Next game we're going to talk about is Philly at Milwaukee. Milwaukee's favored by 3.5. It's projected for 210. On the Milwaukee side of the ball, you got Bledsoe, you got Brogdon. Now, Brogdon's a game time decision. You got Middleton, Antetokounmpo, Henson. Thon Maker's a game time decision. On that Philly side of the ball, here we go again. You got Ben Simmons without Embiid. Embiid's out. So who's going to benefit from that? Is it going to be Amir Johnson? Is it going to be Sark? Is it going to be Rashad Holmes? Is Trevor Booker going to be sneaking in there? The one kid Anderson, he's been getting a lot of minutes, and you got to use your suspects with Covington and things like that, because you got to remember Redick and Bayless is out. So it's all open. It's all open for Ben Simmons and Sark and things like that. It's wide open over there. Out of this game, I'm liking Antetokounmpo on that Milwaukee side. Without Embiid, that's going to open up a lot of baskets down low, a lot of rebounds and things like that. On the Philly side of the ball, I'm loving Ben Simmons, man, and I don't like him too often. I'm loving Ben Simmons. With all them guards out, I'm loving Ben Simmons. You got your McConnell coming off the bench who can go crazy. And like I said, Sark is 6,800. He's in a great spot without Embiid. Sark can go off. Sark can go off. Sark can go off. He's in a prime spot without Embiid. And then you got to pick which one of them centers you think gonna go off. Is it gonna be Holmes? Is it gonna be Johnson? Is it gonna be, you know what I mean? That could go anywhere. So, but one place I feel secure about is that guard position. So, like I said, I like Simmons, Sark, and Antetokounmpo out of this game. Now, the next game we're going to talk about is that Miami at Dallas, y'all. And this is projected low, 195.5. But you can find the value in it. You can find the value in it. Miami's favored by 2. You got Dragic, Johnson, Tyler Johnson, Richardson, James Johnson, Whiteside, who's in a smash spot if he gets the minutes. It's all about if he gets the minutes, man. If he gets the minutes against Dallas, he can go crazy. But you can't be sure. Can't be sure. A lot of times he don't even play in the fourth quarter. But if he plays this whole game, if it stays close and he plays this whole game, Whiteside's in a smash spot. Please believe it. And then on the Dallas side of the ball, you got Dennis Smith Jr. and Yogi Ferrell and Wesley Matthews with J.J. Barea out. So that's a smash spot also. Steph Curry, the little brother's out. You got Harris at game time decision. Devin Harris is a game time decision, so we kind of got to decide on that. And wait for that news. But Yogi Ferrell and Smith, they're going to get their minutes. But this projection and things like that, and not being able to trust Whiteside's minutes, I don't really like this game. But he is in a Whiteside is in a smash spot. He is in a smash spot, but like I say, that's a chance you taking. Because if you take the chance and he go off, you go. But if he only end up getting 20 minutes like he has some games, it's going to be a problem. Now that last game we're going to talk about is Boston at Denver, projected for 205.5 points. Denver's favored by 1.5. I don't know how they favored over Boston. I guess it's because they're at home and the altitude and things like that. But you got Murray, Harris, Barton, Plumlee, and Jokic. Chandler's a game time decision. But I like that Plumlee. I like that Plumlee at the power forward. You can attack Boston again down low somewhat. Now they probably the best or top best defensive team in the league. So you got to be careful and pick your spots. So out of this game, I really like that Mason Plumlee, the power forward for Denver. I like him. Now Jokic's at 8,600. He can go off on anybody. Boston, they're a dangerous team to try to pick on. But I could see you liking Jokic. Now on that Boston side of the ball, you got Kyrie been going crazy lately. He been going crazy. I've been fading him because he burnt me so many times. But he been going crazy lately on a consistent basis. So he's definitely in play over that 9K spot. And You got Brown, Tatum, Horford, Baines. Kind of pick your poison with those boys there. But Boston's a good team. They're a good team. One could go off, or they could spread it throughout the whole team. So you got to kind of find your matchup and find your beefy BVP matchup and see who you like. My favorite playoff for Boston is going to be Shane Larkin. Now that depends on if Terry Rozier is out. He's a game time decision. Probably won't play, but you never know how that goes. You got Marcus Smart is out. So I'm hoping Rozier is out, and I'm going down there to Shane Larkin and things like that. And I'm gonna find me some value guards, and I'm gonna pay up for some of them big centers and things like that. And that's where I'm going. But I just wanted to hop on here real quick, man, while I had a little time, and wish everybody in the DFS community good luck and things like that. And hope y'all have a good day and get to that money. Shout out to my boy Corey. I had a good night in the cash line last night. Had a real good night and things like that. And we chopping it up and we staying on the grind. You know what I mean? It's like I say, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and we'll get there. You know what I mean? We'll get there. But like I said, man, wish everybody good luck, and y'all know what it is. Cash line, baby.